No, yeah.
Yeah, all that good shit.
That.
Yeah, you know what it is. Hey, what's the word, y'all? I am Words Illah, aka Drew Skills, aka Ill doing it too, and this is the Werds Illah Podcast. And of course, as always,
Yeah.
you know what it is.
D Baker, the Baker,
That's
DBL, L doing it 3. I'm here. What's up, man?
Yeah, we here, man. We live. It's Friday the 13th.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's a lucky day.
I love it.
I think it's a lucky day. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Before we get into anything about Friday the 13th or anything, because I had something I saw I wanted to say, but what you been up to, man, since last week, man?
Oh, man, just cooling, man. Trying to get things in order. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Right.
Not Rona.
That's not the Rona. That's not the Rona.
Disclaimer.
Even though we've had some record dates.
Yeah.
But anyways,
anyway, man. I'm just, like I said, trying to get things in order, man. Working on this and that. I don't want to say too much right now until I have some actual physical things I can show and present to people. But
right.
Just know some things are happening right now.
Well, that's dope, man. That's good, man. I mean, I know what these things are, obviously, but you know what I'm saying? It's good. Like we were saying, staying active.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? Keeping your mind sharp and excuse me, taking these opportunities,
Yeah.
If you feel something, again, you never know until you try, and a lot of stuff is really not that expensive. You just
Indeed
put a little bit of effort forth, and you just and then you just see what happens. The results may vary, as they say, but
facts.
It is what it is. You just roll with it.
And that's it, man. I'm gonna see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But other than that, waiting for this.
Yeah. Feel you.
Feel
you for sure. I mean, didn't you do the podcast?
Yeah. I forgot.
I was waiting for you to. I didn't know how you was gonna.
Yeah, no, I've revamped the Some Married Guys podcast.
Word.
So another AKA to add on.
There you go. Exactly.
Some Married Guys podcast, man, is it's back. I'm streaming that right now. Working on trying to get it on YouTube,
right.
as well. But right now you can find it on a couple of streaming platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Beezy, and my older brother Keith. I think he's just going by Keith.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he is too.
Yeah, so we doing that thing, having a little bit of fun, man.
That's good. So I think I just saw you got 2 episodes out right now.
Yeah,
okay.
1.5.
Okay.
Because I had some audio difficulties.
Okay, I see. The second one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll probably divulge a little more on that later on that.
But look, this is a good segue into. I saw something I meant to post it. I don't know if I did, but I tried not to troll too much, or not troll, but I feel like I don't want to stand for people too much. I feel like I talk about Royce on here a lot. I feel like I talk about Gary Vee a lot. I feel like I talk about certain people a lot, but it is because there's elements of what they say that just kind of resonate.
Yeah,
and they say something in a way that's kind of short but also very detailed. Gary Vee said something about how perfectionism is like a mask for insecurity. You know what I'm saying? An insecurity to act. You know what I'm saying? Where that's you're trying to put this idea on but once I have this, we talk about sometimes, once I have this, or once I'm able to do that, then I'll get this. And then it's everything is always on the other side of some other thing that's out of your control. And that becomes very harmful because then you're always going to find something else that you decided is now why you can't do the next thing or why you're not able to accomplish. You allow yourself to have less likelihood to just overcome and just deal with stuff and learn. That's another thing that now has made you leveled up video games, like an RPG or something. You get that because you got all these points now. You leveled up, so now you have this. You're not supposed to be doing the things you did in the other levels. Those levels are done with. You're supposed to have
supposed to be better at that.
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to do that with no trying.
Indeed.
Really. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a problem with. But that's what it's good that you just is yo, nah, we got it. Like I said, you were yo, let me use the mic. Word. You took the mic. You've done 2 episodes. If they're the best or not, that's not really 100% that important at this exact moment. It's more get active. You know what I'm saying? Just be active. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not. You've already shaped it to not really be this political. I mean, corporate sort of sounding thing that's inside of this closed off booth. It's no, this is natural. You're gonna hear my kids. You know what I'm saying? We here. I can't help.
We actually recorded the second or the half episode,
The half
in the
episode.
backyard.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's, I think, was some part of the technical difficulties we were having as well. But you know,
But
yeah, like you said, man, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
You know,
Action, like we were
man.
saying, it's way worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To just go ahead and be active and not really be sitting here like, oh well. I mean, again, once I do this, or once I'm able to afford this, or what, it's like, yo, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, we can get
especially
to
when there's
that.
groups of people that are doing things and they're all like, man, how are we gonna do this? It's like, what the fuck you mean?
Yeah.
It's like 4 or 5 of us. Get a job, man, and everybody
Yeah.
put the money in. That's how you do it. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying, this like super drawn out like thing that we have to, you know what I mean, like overthink, yo. It's really straightforward, man.
Yeah.
You know. But keeping it rolling, man. I can't help but keep going back to these things. It's just because it's real. It's the world, and we watching these things, and it's funny in some ways, and it's sad. This guy Trump, man, it's like he's not even trying to leave the White House, man. It's like, I think he's like completely delusional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man,
He ain't gonna leave,
sore
yo.
loser.
But they're also, excuse me, they're also like really trying to expedite this shit. They're
Yeah.
trying to speed this transition, and there's not much of a transition team, is what they're saying.
Right.
And it seems weird, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Because look, they're saying, I just saw, like, I guess there's like a bunch of the people in the Secret Service that are apparently infected or potentially at home quarantining because they may have been infected. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, I heard the
Yeah,
last
man.
little event they had. They called another super spreader event. You know,
That word is crazy,
Yeah, that's what they.
I know that's what they call in these big
Yeah.
gatherings where it seems like they come out and it's like 60 people got it, and or they're
Because
potential
one
to
person
have
didn't wear their mask.
it. Yeah.
Like,
Who
Yeah.
knows, man? This shit is like every day the virus is a different virus almost. You know what I'm
Indeed.
saying? Or it's, and the numbers are actively being manipulated into some manners. This is not to say that it's not real. That's why it's hard, because it's the same way I can say, like how I've seen Royce say and other people, like, I'm not anti-vax. I'm just
Yeah.
very weary of the idea of a
Indeed.
vaccine being developed this fast.
Yes.
And then imagining it's going to actually work properly. Like,
yes.
I just don't see that really being a real thing. You
Yes.
know, I'd feel much safer if, you know, those medical professionals who are saying that it's gonna work,
Mm-hmm.
you guys take it then.
Mm-hmm.
You take the stuff you developed.
Yeah.
All of you, everybody who works at the facility, all of you be the first ones.
Yeah.
And then let me know what happens.
Absolutely.
We'll see what happens from there. You know,
and,
like
all the ones that are promoting it, you know, to give to people so fast. You take it too.
exactly.
You know.
Yeah,
Holler at me in a year or two, because I want to know long-term effects.
I do too.
I don't
for
care
sure.
about we're going to get it away now.
In like 2 weeks that we're gonna start giving it to. No,
Yeah,
no,
No, fuck that.
I'm straight.
Because what happens 10 years from now? You know?
Yeah, like I said, these other vaccines I think are vaccines that, to me, to my knowledge, like when you get them like before you have to go to elementary school and things like that. Like I don't know if you had to do that. Like when you're young, you have to go get all these shots or whatever.
Yeah.
Like those are all vaccines that have been developed for years and years and years and years and years. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And you know, at this point, this virus is supposedly so new and we don't know what it does. The idea that the best solution is to just go ahead and vaccinate everybody is like this idea that America always has, or like the powers that be is like, we need this quick fix, just everybody to do this and we're all gonna be safe. It's like, yeah. Unfortunately, that's not really how this works, and that's extremely overpowering. You know, it's gonna be hard for them to imagine they're gonna do this idea that they've been saying about another 4 to 6 week lockdown.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard to do. You're not gonna,
Yeah.
you've already lost all these businesses and everything else. I saw somebody post, I was like, yo, this is a good idea. All the corporate businesses, the big businesses, should have to shut down and let all the small businesses now be able to stay open and see how much money they can make during this time. You know, we need some kind of something implemented, because we can't just trust that they're going to just pay for everybody while we go through this lockdown. Nah,
No.
I'm not trusting that.
No.
No, I'm straight on that. You're going to have to allow me to keep opening my business up and do business in some manner where I can still make money. We ain't doing that. Why'd they get to every big business got to stay open?
That is dope. That's
You
smart.
know? There's just a lot of things that we need implemented quickly. You know, I've seen a lot of them being talked about. What Sean King has been saying, like, yo, he started that petition and was like, yo, everybody sign this. We need 100,000 people, and we're going to be, basically, it's this petition saying that we're holding you guys accountable.
Yeah.
Biden, specifically, you created these laws, most of these laws that have made this mass incarceration and all these issues. You need to be the one to start breaking it down. And hold yourself to that promise you said you were going to hold everybody to. Yo, I saw what the election did. Black Americans held me up. I'm going to hold my... Okay, here it is. Here's the chance.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah. Demands.
This is what it is.
Indeed.
Right here. In black and white. Here you go. Take a chance and look at it and get back to us quickly. You know what I'm saying? Because, no, there's, like they said, there's implementations that could go in the day he starts.
Yeah.
That take no Senate approval or anything. It's just he could go in their executive orders and they would immediately do necessary work to start getting things going. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what has to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Yeah, that's
if there's any chance for democracy to have any chance, you know, that this is the time that these people need to, like they say, as they say, nut up or shut up. Like, this is your chance. You better get to it. Like.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about. I saw Sean King posted what's the word? The transfer team.
Oh, transition team.
Transition team. He posted transition team with a bunch of people. You know that it just wasn't really diverse. You know what I'm saying, for one, and like
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and it was questionable, like,
yeah,
and some of them, you know, their I guess background, not ethnic background, but like
right, but their history within politics.
Yeah, that was questionable. You know, he said one of the guys that was on the transition team actually was like a lawyer who represented Trump all the time, like the whole time. Like I don't know, man. If you've seen it, you've seen it.
Yeah, it's a hard line because I mean, you know, lawyers are just different.
Yeah,
you have to be a different kind of person to be a lawyer, and in politics in general, you know, there's a lot of forgiveness you have to have and understand that. Oh, it's you try to chalk it up to just being politics and just being, because you know, we know how it is. You know what I'm saying? There's strong-minded people who have a lot of, you know, they have a lot of pull and they have a lot of attachments to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And so it's hard to get people to sway on a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get people to change their minds because they look at the idea of these being my constituents. If I represent this thing, I can't just anytime I want go along with something, even though my heart might tell me, you know. People align with politics deep, you know what I'm saying? Indeed. Like, and will allow that to be run by everything, you know what I'm saying? And lawyers are bound by a duty to not speak, basically, about anything that they have with their clients, no matter what they tell them. Yeah. Anything, murders, anything. Their lawyers have, like, you're by a code you're supposed to be taking as being a lawyer. You're supposed to remain completely silent and neutral. Yeah. And just be a guy who's going by these books, these laws that they've set and what they're saying, and these other statutes that have been in place because of other, you know, precedents that have been set in other cases and things. Like, that's what your job is. Yeah. That's a sick mind, though. I mean, in some ways, but it's how you get things done. You know, you have to have somebody who's that willing to just be like, I wouldn't say anything about my client. You know what I'm saying?
The Devil's Advocate.
you know that
movie with Keanu Reeves and
that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. And
Al Pacino.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. That's the I mean, but in lieu of other things, man, you know, I don't want to keep bringing these things up, but I want to get through these subjects and talk about stuff. But you know, now what we're seeing with the Quan Charles. There's a 13-year-old boy that was found, and they're saying his body looked so mangled it looks similar. They compared it to Emmett Till. You know what I'm saying? And saying that it was got to have been something that happened there. What they know so far is they're trying to tell the family that it was a drowning, but they're like, no, it doesn't look like that. You know what I'm saying? There's other things at play here, and so they're trying to figure out what happens. And of course, as usual, the police have not been cooperative, and they're not giving enough information, and they're not it doesn't seem like they really fully investigated this, you know. And these bullshit. And these are the stories that we knew were happening forever. It's just now we're getting the chance to see more conversation about it and seeing the depths of what this is, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why like I said, these demands are real. to Biden, you got to implement things quickly.
Yeah.
You've got to start changing the narrative. You've got to start changing the overall way in which government does this. Their idea of policing. It's not policing. It's murder. You know what I'm saying? It's just continuous allowing of murder. Like, you've got to change things so these things can be eradicated in at some level, some way. Again, like, I think it was Dick Gregory was talking about this. Like, again, what if these police forces and these other people who, when people do things, they're the ones who are held accountable. They have to pay the money out, and then they're disbarred or whatever, and they can't do whatever that thing is that they were involved. Or however it goes, it has to be immediate action taking place on police and people who do these types of crimes. Like, it has to be implemented fast. Like, this is a high class felony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The seriousness has to be very high. So even again, if it doesn't change a person's mentality, it changes their idea of what happens if they do what they were trying to do to somebody.
No more slap on the wrist.
No more just
I'm gonna get a vacation. I needed a vacation anyway.
No. You out and you go into prison for like a long time. Maybe you don't get out. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just depends on what you do when you're in there. Maybe there's a likelihood of parole, but it's a very small likelihood. You'd have to show a lot over a very long period of time. You know what I'm saying? They'd have to designate some kind of way to establish, like, no, this has to be immediate.
Yeah.
These things take place quick, and there's no question about it. We don't even think about it. It just happens. Yeah. The same way that they were able to do what they did. Again, the scales need to take a very hard left. You know what I'm saying? We need to see the pull of where we've been go so hard that there may be, again, there's going to be collateral damage.
Yeah.
There's going to be some people who are going to get caught up in the system improperly for doing something that may have looked like or was perceived as or was put in place as being this crazy hate race crime. But that's going to have to happen. There has to be that. It has to be there's some cracks. People fall through the cracks and some mistakes are made. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it's going to slowly start to get back to middle again.
Yeah.
And we'll start to see some more balance happening. You know what I'm saying? But if it doesn't go hard left, then we just see this attempt to get things right. You know what I'm saying? It has to be overarching. All these things happen so powerfully that it's unstoppable. And then it kind of slowly starts to, like, all right, let's fall back just a tad. But no.
That's what it sounds like to me is, that was just another lynching. Lynching, I say, because
there was one, and I don't remember, and I wish I did. I don't know, in Atlanta, I think it was at some point earlier in the year.
You know what I mean?
So, I mean, it's this is not new, like we
hangings,
said.
that the Flamies are claiming that my son was not suicidal, or, know.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep. To switch gears just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Friday the 13th, like you said, it's a lucky day, man. Yeah. This is a very powerful, actually, really is a powerful day, you know what I'm saying, in terms of, like, the universe and the energies and whatnot. Like, I saw something, I would try to pull it back up on my phone, but I think they say Friday the 13th is actually a day that was supposed to have been in celebration of, like, basically the 13 cycles of a woman's gestation, so to speak, and how it's supposed to have represented the divine feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? That this is a time that's actually supposed to be in reverence to that, and about I don't even see. I'm trying to look it up right now. Had to put it on my stories.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, man. I saw it, was like, what? For real? I was like, what? Even if it's not real, it's cool to read it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It says, the secret power of Friday the 13th, a 14th century cover-up. Friday the 13th is actually good luck, as it is associated with the 13 cycles of the moon in a lunar year. This is why a woman has 13 cycles a year and ovulates on the 13th day. In 1487, free thinking and divine female energy was suppressed and labeled witchcraft by Heinrich Kramer, who went forth to burn many healers on the stake due to forced ignorance and a hatred for powerful female leaders. This is why Friday the 13th is actually a spiritual day of enlightenment, divine feminine energy, and healing that should be sacred instead of hated.
Damn.
But, these are big parts of the results of what patriarchy does, and what colonialism does, and what whiteness does, and what racism, this is a result of all that. All this stuff compounded to where we have these issues, where we've flipped the narrative. You know what I'm saying? And that's why there's talks about, and I think Ab Soul had it on one of his albums recently, where he was talking about, like, think about, like, what these guys were wearing. You know what I'm saying? If you look at pictures of the early people of America, George Washington, things of that nature, like first presidents and whatnot, a lot of them were wearing wigs, what looked to be almost like pantyhose, bell bottoms, you know what I'm saying, blouses, you know what I mean, and sometimes even skirts, or they would wear that, you know, even like the Masons, you know, they wore that flag or whatever that was over it looked like they were wearing a skirt. So you know, it was a reverence for female. It's a knowledge of understanding that the universe is actually female. It's actually, and that's where all energy is actually derived from. And so the hard turn was they used that, they wanted to be empowered so bad, so they emulated things, but then they also, it was disturbing, you know what I'm saying? They took sacred things and turned them into these cursed things, you know what I'm saying? Which is, you know, sick to say the least, you know what I mean? But again, all this stuff to me again is, I can't confirm or deny these things, but just by nature of the information I'm looking at it, like, it doesn't sound like too far off. It doesn't sound like it's wrong, but it, you know, there's a lot of levels to that, you know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about now energies, and we're talking about what is gender, you know, and how it applies to our brains and our bodies, and how there can be a difference in that, and what it really is, what is sexuality, all these things. Like it becomes like, because apparently that's the idea of what we're moving towards, like as humanity. Like there's a lot more fluidity happening, where there's a more of people who are just, again, like, yo, your life is your life. Whatever you're deciding for your life, whether that's to choose to be a man or a woman or gay or straight or whatever, it's your free will. I wasn't born you, so I can't understand or impose on you, like, you can't do that, you shouldn't be that, that's not your right, you should be this because you're gonna scare everybody, or you're gonna be like, but at the end of the day, it shit doesn't affect you. Like 9 times out of 10 people's lives, I know the world is harsh, and you want to, like, we try to protect, I think, people sometimes, or like people with parents do, but a lot of times, you know, kids, we're gonna see shit anyways, you know what I'm saying, especially now with the internet and stuff. So it's like, you better start figuring out how to communicate to children on a more real level, instead of trying to talk to them like they're kids all the time, you know what I'm saying? There's levels to things, you know what I'm saying, where they should be allowed to be free and be a child and enjoy and whatnot, but there's levels like, but if they don't know these things and it pops up on them, then what? You know what I'm saying? So
you're
it's like,
waiting on a perfect time to say something, like, nah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta, whether they ready or not, you know, bust it down real quick, like, yo.
And that's why it's like, it's best as parents to get ahead of those things. Like if you're ahead of the curve at all times, them seeing something new, it's not new information for you. They never can really introduce new things to you, so to speak, because you're inundated in their lives. You want to know what they're about, what they like, what they dislike, what they're watching, and the more you are, the more able you are to be like, oh, I didn't see that already. Like you watch shit that they're watching before they do, because you want to be in tune. So that way they start to be like, oh, he already knows that. So they start to understand there's more of a respect level they got to have. You know what I'm saying? Like your ability to know things that they don't know helps to establish like a student teacher, I think. You know what I'm saying? Because imagine being able to talk to a teacher and tell them something that they don't know. And you know what I'm saying? Like you can teach them almost. Like, and there's a lot of that happening right now. Because a lot of parents and kids, I mean teachers, they're not really aware of the truth. They don't know a lot. They think they know a lot. But their information is given to them by somebody else who told them that this is what it is. And they're consumed by what we see. You know what I'm saying? Society tells us these things, so we believe it. You know what I'm saying? People just, excuse me, fall in line. People just don't question things sometimes. They get stuck in their own world. And like, oh, but it's not that. And it's like, no, but it is. And they'll be so mind blown when they find out. That's a moment for somebody. You can either decide to keep thinking the way you were, or you can be like, I see now. By mostly, I listen to people's real experiences. You know what I'm saying? Let them tell you. Don't try to infer. Oh, but I see because, you know, men is this and women is that. You don't. How do you know that? Who told you that?
Yeah, right.
And how many people have you known that have lived a life of something else, being gay or being trans? How do you even know? If you don't, it's kind of hard to judge. It's kind of hard to say what you really know about it. If you're just reading something somebody said, you got it. Well, what are they saying? You know what I'm saying? What is their life like? They're saying it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's why it's confusing. right now, where there's a lot of people who's just speaking out of turn. They don't actually have many experiences with things that they're choosing to just talk about all the time. You know, we see a lot of ignorant people that are really bold with it. You know what I'm saying? They proud to be ignorant. They're proud to be out here and be dumb and not know and just say shit. And you be like, yo, you gotta reel it in, man. Chill out for a minute, because you going over here and you could be destroying relationships with people you don't even know yet. You know what I'm saying? Just based on you trying to be so gung-ho about that's wrong. You shouldn't live like this. You shouldn't be that. It's like, I don't know, man. That's a hard line to press, because you know, humans have been here for a really long time, man. Like, I don't think people really understand that either. The length of time that humans have been here, and that the idea that we've always just been this one manner of thinking is like asinine. You know, it's always been this. And yeah, I know, but are you trying to tell me that you believe again, like, that humans can't evolve, that we can't see us get to we're at a place now, again, like we were saying, we're watching things happening, you know what I'm saying, in real time. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's unheard of for human history. You know what I'm saying? This is a different time. You know what I'm saying? We've never been this connected to understand all the same things at the same time across the world. You know, I don't think we really understand the depth of that.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
I don't think they put it, people think about it that, you know, broad, you know, on that broad of a spectrum.
Yeah.
I never have. To be honest, when you said it to me just a second ago, I'm like, shit, you're right.
Like the whole world, yo, we undermine that and don't respect it enough. Like, yo, realize, like, there's never been a time like this before. You know what I mean? We've never been this connected to the world like this. Ever in the history of humanity. So this level of connection is so different, and we're numb to it. You know what I mean? Like most of us,
absolutely.
We still live in like we said, how what that documentary shows us, social dilemma, we stay in a lot of our little bubbles. You know what I'm saying? And we don't really have a full grasp of what's going on, and the nuances in it, and the reality from those who are actually in it and experiencing it. You know, because again, we get caught up in just watching and thinking, or watching and liking and commenting on like a lot of the same pages and a lot of the same content. So then the system just going to keep giving you that. Then that's your fault now. You've decided to keep a bubble for yourself. Or like, we're afraid to just delve into these other aspects of the world. Like, there's people all over the world, man, that, like we said, they're betting on the election and shit. You know what I mean? Like, these countries are like watching it and just being like, this is crazy, man. Look at these motherfuckers, man.
Who's going to win the election? They was betting. I wish I could have got in on that. Ooh-wee.
What would you have put on numbers? What would you put on what?
I'd have bet on both.
I know, but I'm saying, like, what would have been your likelihood for anyone to be higher? Would you have done more on one?
I probably would have put more on Biden.
Okay.
Because they did a lot of shit, for voting that I think a few people I talked to at least didn't really understand, like, why. Like, they were like, well, this is the most votes that's ever happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or matter of fact, well, I'll leave. Anyway, I know why I got the thought, but anyway, this is the most vote. What happened was they allowed, like, felons to vote now. Like, they got rights back to vote.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In a lot of places, if not all places.
And like the people that they spoke of, like the Stacey Abrams, and I think there was I can't think of the other lady's name, that they pressed the line. You know, they were going across the country. You know what I'm saying, and getting people registered to vote, and Absolutely. They were out at the voting polls. You know, the night of.
People who probably never voted, that were able to vote, just probably never registered. You know, a lot of people voted, man. A lot of people. It was a record-breaking.
Yeah, like I said, over 150 million people. You know what I'm saying? So. I'll let you know, the world tuned in, and we're more attached and connected than we ever have been in the history of humanity.
Yeah.
They knew this is not like some crazy weird thing that happened. It was projected to be this. Yeah. Just as the last election was projected to be what it was, and the one before that, it's always going to be bigger and better because technology is meeting up to it, and social media and the internet is now the highway where most things are taking place. So of course it's going to be like the biggest thing that's ever been seen and talked about. Duh.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Word up.
Oh man, crazy man. Let's get into a little bit of music talk, man.
Man.
Before that, I haven't said it yet, but I'm gonna say it. The first special guest episode for the month of November was the homie Beezy.
Hey.
1/3 of the Some Married Guys podcast. So that episode is actually out now. You should listen to that one. That just dropped. So that's out. I just want to say that real quick. Music, man. This airwave music stuff, man.
Yeah.
They're signing a little bit more now. I think they got 4 artists, I think.
I gotta tune in a little bit more. I haven't really checked that
I mean, I know, like, almost like they call it, like, peripherally. That's the peripheral? On my something like that. But, it's, I think there's 2. I know 2 I think it was, one was, I think his name is Kari 1K, and then there's another dude, Juvie. And I know, again, a girl from out here, Shao. You know what I'm saying? Her handle on Instagram is Samurai Shao. She she's out here, man. She's dope. She's through the roof, man. You know what I'm saying? She's been out. I remember early. She was out here on the scene. She did a lot of the stuff with the Frequency group and did stuff with Virginia's Got Talent, which is J-Rock, DJ J-Rock, and we know again her manager Vex. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's Tune. Everybody know him as Tune, but he did his thing. He helped her out, but she's just a natural talent, man. And you know, again, we were talking about the Virginia area. There's an energy that's out here. So again, it's like, you know, with all due respect, I think everybody has an opportunity to kind of carve their own lane to see a way to create a vehicle for themselves to do what they want, because there's enough avenues out here now. Virginia is very wide ranged in the vocal things that we do. There's people doing different things, you know what I'm saying, from different styles of hip hop, so to speak, and R&B. You know, there's different types of music you can get just in Virginia, just in the 7 cities, but then go out to Richmond and Petersburg and these other places. There's a whole spectrum of just everything, you know what I'm saying? There's a very southern sound you can get from here. There's a very up north sound you can get from here. There's a very there's a very neo soul sound you can get from here. Like you can get almost everything you want from out here.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, that's why I said the energy is out here. It's been out here for. It's not like I'm not presenting new news or something like that. Like I'm looking at him telling us what it is. I don't know. I'm saying that it's there. It's been there. I've watched it, and now again, everybody, whatever your avenue it is, whatever you would like to aspire to do, I think there's enough places and people that you can now connect with out here. And again, also looking bigger than just where we're at, you know, using this as, where I'm from is where I'm from. That's not like some kind of thing I really need to brand, or like I feel like always just, rep Virginia all the time. Like, respects, this is where I was born and raised. This is where I've lived my whole life. But there's a bigger picture, and I think learning to like project and think of yourself in those bigger ways. And again, like, just respect everybody's right to be able to build sort of their own building, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And there's enough room for everybody to have their own building, and then everybody's going to be able to have the chance to just venture out and see everybody's little buildings. And it's like, that's what's happening. There's so much great energy out here. People with clothing lines, and people doing music and film and music videos and commercials and graphic art and all this stuff. There's people doing short films and people doing movies out here. I mean, we can literally do whatever. It's just about accessing yourself and what's around you. You know what I'm saying? Really utilizing the right things. Like we were saying, everybody's got to know their roles. It's very important to not have 2 quarterbacks on the field at the same time. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, they get excited, and then your energy makes you feel like, I could do that, and you start trying to represent something that's not realistic to your set of skills or whatever you should really be focusing on. Like, I mean, we all can do multiple things, but corral your multiple things, or take ownership of your own things and do your things, and then we all just share each other's stuff. But there's still, that's your brand, this is my brand. Like, it gets muddy again sometimes when people start trying to like get into the inner workings of what you're doing. It's like, just enjoy it with me, and when I need something from you, I'll let you know, and vice versa. If you need something from me, just let me know. But I don't need to know every little detail about when you're dropping it and when this is going to happen and how you're going to do that and da-da-da. It's like, unless we're actively working on it together and it's something that we're both taking part in to make something, it doesn't really need to be, I need to be in tune with every little detail or your ideas that you keep coming up with. Like, that's great, but we need to now, what are we doing with it now? Because I can't hold on to all these ideas and these things that people are saying that they want to do and they want to implement. It's like, okay, then cool, let's do it. But then when you tell me a few months later, you expecting me to have had some kind of thought about it or I've developed something about it. I haven't, because I don't remember what we're supposed to be doing. Like, I thought it was gonna already be this thing. So it's important, like, once people are in things, like, yo, then let's go, like, and let's play our roles. Let's do what we need to do, but let's not keep trying to find out what we're gonna do. Let's spend our time wisely when we have our free time, thinking of these new things we want to do. And then coming with them almost damn near finished, and then being like, here's this thing I want to do. Okay, I want to do this, and all we need to do. And so I was thinking maybe tomorrow or next, like, let's, you know what I'm saying? Think it all the way out almost, like as if it's already finished. You know what I'm saying? Think of a timeline for it or whatever. Like, let's get more into that, because people's time are valuable. Like we were saying, you might catch somebody an opportunity in an elevator, and we were talking about like Jared Grace doing with his wife, you know, like the elevator pitch, like, yo, you might be an opportunity. It might be right next to you. You know what I mean? And if you're not aware of what you need to say and how to say it, if you're not confident, you don't stand, and you're not, you know, fully into this idea that you're trying to present to somebody, they're going to see it. And they're not going to be in it if you're not in it. And if you can't convince them, like, then, you know, that's on you. But that's why it's important, you know, to just, like you said, just be ready. You know what I mean? And just be in the mindset of always, yo, if I have this opportunity, I need to present it to somebody, you know, and they're not going to bullshit. You know what I mean? Once they say yes to something, it's not going to be, all right, yeah, I'll get back to you in a couple weeks. And we're like, no. Like, we're going to get this going now, right? You said you're into it. That's what we want, right? Okay, well, I was thinking I was going to call you tomorrow and we could set this up to get it done next week. And then, I was thinking, see, that's why it's important early on to do enough on your own, because it gives you, I think it gives me the understanding and the value of, like, yo, that means you're in the driver's seat at all times. You know, you can't fall asleep. You know what I mean? You can't turn off you can't do nothing. You're the one running this thing. Yeah. So as long as you're doing, as long as you can, you know, you'll start to learn and pick up and get better. And then eventually, when there's a time when you want to do stuff with somebody, you'll be prepared. You know what I mean? And it's a fact. And they won't have to try to guess, and you won't have to guess what they're going to do, because you're both clearly established. You understand, you speak confidently. Like, all these things are just really straightforward things. It's implementation, man. Like, yeah. Like, I think getting
to the grind, man. And being consistent.
Yeah. It's but okay, I don't know how we got to there, but yeah. I don't know where we came from, where we got to get there, but that's fine. The last thing I wanted to say a little bit about, which I don't talk about enough, and, you know, I've just been in my own world, I guess, and that's my fault, but the RBA Rap Elite, man, you know, these guys, man, it's they're building, man, at a level that's you know, they're a staple out in Virginia, you know what I mean, and especially in the Richmond area. But recently just watched like a battle. It was Basic, he's from out here in the beach, and Tony Red, he's from out in Richmond, and yo, I think it was Basic's first battle. I could be wrong, but I believe it was. And I'm not sure how many, or if he's ever had battles Tony Red, I'm not sure. But yo, they went in, you know what I'm saying? It was love at the end, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna send you the link. I'm gonna let you watch it, man. You gotta see it there. It's just, again, yo, there's an energy out here, man. You know what I'm saying? They released a cipher that was for a YouTube channel called World MC. I think the page has got like 250,000 subscribers or something like that. And it was like they're setting it out to like release sequence parts of the cipher throughout like the next few weeks or something like that. But yeah, man, you know, that there's an established thing out here. Again, like I said, the energy is incredible, and there's lanes for everybody. If you want to do something, and the first thing I've always said, and I've said it before when I first started going to RBA, they're welcoming. You know what I'm saying? They're good people. These are people who believe in the culture properly. They understand what it means, and they're fully, you know, giving everybody opportunities that could charge a lot more. You know what I'm saying? If they wanted to, and I'm sure they will. I'm sure that there's enough things that they're going to start changing. I'm sure. I would imagine so. You know, but you know, again, just the idea. Again, the energy is out here. So this idea again of like these excuses we all have about what we want to do, like almost every aspect of, especially music and entertainment now, you can do it out here. So if you're thinking about you got to go somewhere else or whatever, it's like, yo, you're probably gonna have to go through the same grind and hardships being somewhere else, and you could just do it here. You could just get involved with the right people out here, and they'll help you. They'll get you to the places you need to be at. Like, there's people doing it out here that have opportunities are starting to come more often to people all out here. You know what I'm saying? So again, you just got to be like in it and believe that shit 100%. And again, stop making excuses, yo, because I just seen a video too going along with that. This dude who was blind was skateboarding. Was doing like tricks, like going off of a box and grinding and kick flips and stuff. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yo, see, I posted that shit and was like, yeah, so what's your excuse?
Yeah, word.
This guy's out here still getting it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of those kind of examples in the world of incredible human beings, that amputees and things of that nature, that are just still chugging along. They found their next thing to achieve, and then they just went hard. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're like, what? Excuse? I'm alive. Fuck all the excuses, bitch. I don't got time for that. Like, I'm alive. Let's figure this out. Like, bro. What can I do? Like, why? You know, you got to find some more. Again, I think we say it a lot. Like, you know, just get inspired by something, man. Find something. You know, try a bunch of things if you have to, but get inspired by something, man. Because this shit is like, it gets dull. Life can get dull and long and boring. It's gonna get, even when you have a passion, right? But at least the passion or the thing you feel good about can give you some relief, maybe. You know, to the ways of the world. You know what I mean? But shit, again, you got to get active and shit, man. People gotta get out here and want it. You know what I mean? And like you said, with the opportunity, you know, that you've presented to yourself, like you said, you're looking to do things to put yourself on, and you know what I'm saying? And same way, you know what I mean? That's what I want to do. Every chance I can, if I could give something to help you or to Steve or to whoever, it's like everybody benefits. You know what I mean? Like that, the group economics idea is not, we are not plotting out some new shit. This is literally what people have done since beginning of time. That once they understood, more people means more opportunities, more people to put in, more can come out. Like, that's what you're supposed to look at it as, you know what I'm saying? And the more you do, then the more those types of things just come out of you, you know what I'm saying? Instead of you talk, like I was saying earlier on Instagram, I went live and I called it, you know what I'm saying? I'm just in the transition to wealth, you know what I'm saying? I'm not broke. I'm not, you know, I'm just in a spot that's not where I want to be, but I'm not broke though. I'm just there because I'm moving. It's almost like I know it's coming. It's just that I'm not quite at that exact moment yet. So it's like, instead, like it's changing your idea about what's around you and like what you're capable of. Like I said, stop trying to put this thing outside of you as this thing that's preventing you from doing something, when we know that a big portion of the time there's not something that's physically stopping you. There's just an idea that you've made up, and a fear, or again, you didn't study enough and you weren't prepared. So when the time came, you just couldn't handle the situation. And that's what happens. But it's not like, don't be ashamed of it. Take it and be like, okay, cool. I don't want to do that again. You know, that's where we all have fallen into a like deep, dark spot sometimes, where I think we've like just completely given up on our chance to do something. Like, I just no, things ain't gonna work out, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought, you know what, man, fuck it, man. I guess I just won't, like, but I don't know, man. We've got to let go of like perfection, like what I was saying earlier. Let go of it. We're gonna fail a lot. But if you're doing something, the idea of a failure isn't as big of a deal, because it's like, but I'm still moving though. Wait a second, I failed, but my leg's still moving. I'm still breathing. I still got a roof over my. I didn't fail then. I haven't failed. You know what? Failures like this is when you quit. Once you give up on something, that's when it's over. Because you stopped. It's done. It doesn't matter. No matter what, you can't go to a win by doing nothing. But once you're moving, as long as you're moving, even if you trip, you scrape your leg, whatever, if you get up and you just brush it off and you keep walking, eventually the destination doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't move. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you're headed to, it's still there. You know what I'm saying? It's just you've decided that you stop for a moment. That's cool, but just don't let that stop be a cease. You know what I'm saying? Like where nothing, we just gotta, you know, like I said, you gotta learn how to move as things are rough and when you're hurt. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't like something and when you're not interested, It may be something you need there. You know, maybe it's not an immediate thing. Maybe you don't get something from this thing you're doing right at this second. But 2 weeks from now, maybe something happens, or a month from now, or next year. You know what I'm saying? Like planting seeds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's where it's at.
Planting seeds.
Planting seeds and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
I don't know, man. What else? I mean, you got anything about music or anything? I mean, have you made a few beats? I know I heard a couple or one. I know for sure.
Yeah. You know, so, I got back into the mode. You know, trying to get back to creating some new stuff. I'm just in a creative. I don't know. Is it are we in an age where it's just I feel creative, man. I just want to make a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So that probably falls into what I was saying earlier. Like I'm just getting a lot of things in line, just doing a lot of little minor things that I can do now, So I made like one that I really like.
Yeah.
And the other one
Right. Got some ideas from different artistic expressions, and that's why same way I've been doing. I think it's nothing wrong with that, and I think that there's so many people who they've told themselves they can't do those things, so when they see somebody else doing it, it's almost as if they feel like, who are they to do that?
Yeah.
And that's when the attitude comes in, or they want to start. They manipulate the idea of their jealousy and insecurity and turn it into this idea of like, oh, you're too old for that.
Yeah.
That's that kid. He's childish or he's immature or whatever. Like that. That fact that you would want to start a YouTube channel or that you would want to do that. Oh, that's cute or whatever. It's like, all right, cool. Until someday that shit fucks around and makes me some money, and then it's not so funny anymore, is it?
Right.
And that's the idea of a lot of stuff. It starts out as this funny joke to people when you want to do this thing that to them they've perceived it as it can't be done or it's childish or whatever. And they've decided they can't do it. So now again, they want to impose that on you and everybody else. And it's like, again, that energy is more their problem than it is anybody else's. Like, again, as we all learn, I think, enough when we were younger, especially if you were the youngest sibling, I'm sure you probably learned, like, you got to ignore the older brother or whoever that's like always trying to ignore you, like say something about you. They know they're poking at you. They're trying to make you mad.
Yeah.
You got to learn to just go along with it and turn the joke on them and like learn how to be sarcastic and shit. Cause it's like 90% of people who are doing that, it's something they're trying to hide. You know what I'm saying? It's maybe not that deep at that moment, but it's just the idea that they needed to feel some sense of superiority or something. You know what I'm saying? For that moment, they needed that energy for a moment or whatever. Again, I don't hold nobody against them for wanting to do that, but never allow that to be like something that you just give into. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to be like, we grew up being an asshole and being able to like spout shit back and be quick-witted and say a joke back to somebody when they say something to you is like, it's the best way to assert yourself and be like, nah, nope, not gonna happen. So that way you don't have to keep trying to reiterate things. And that's why I think with business, it's like, and these things you want to do, it's like, everybody who wants to down you or say that it's childish or whatever, it's like your only response is like, I'm glad you feel so. Again, thank you for your opinion. That's the end of it. It's like, I don't have anything else to expound on or add to.
No, it's like basketball. They're gonna trash talk you while you playing, but you still gotta, you're gonna not shoot because the trash talk got to you. You're gonna keep moving.
Exactly. And when you believe enough in what you're doing, and you know that you're not going to give up, you know what I'm saying? It means absolutely nothing. It's just trash talk. Just talking. It's just words.
Who cares?
I'm not. It has no effect at all. It has more of effect on them. You know what I'm saying? Because I realize that they're invested in this. They're invested in trying to find ways to say something to me that's going to make me angry or try to take me away from what I feel is the right thing or tell me or I'm going to give up on this thing. And when I don't, then it reflects on them, not me. You know what I'm saying? And that even though, and I'm still in a good mood and I haven't stopped, and even when the numbers are low or even when things aren't selling like I want or whatever, it's like, it doesn't matter when I keep going. And then when it does happen, it's always the same story. We've seen it 1,000 times. It turns back around. Those people now are the ones that want to be like, man, I knew he'd always make it and I was gonna, man, he's all right, I guess. They start slowly changing or they start hating even more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, look, to each their own, man. If you don't want to do anything, like they say, whether you do or you don't, both people are right. That's the attitude of doing what you need to do. Because it's like, You doing what you don't want to do, cool. Or doing what you do want to do, that's cool with me too. Like I have no energy to care either way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't do much for me, you know. But we don't know people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't want to be big moguls and they don't want to sell things, and again, people like to plug in and play, and we all maybe were unfortunately raised under that way, and we can't help it. You know what I'm saying? We've decided for our own selves, like, I just don't personally want to live like that. It's not to say it's wrong that people who do, if they decide that that's their way, but I just don't want them to think that they're going to try to talk me out of not living that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I shouldn't do that. Why? Oh, because you know you could fail and it's going to cost you a lot of money and you don't want to have this happen. It's like, you know, that sounds like what I hear you talking. I literally, all those words came out of your mouth. You said that. I don't feel any of those things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like hard to tell people that sometimes and get them to be understanding of, like, you know, I would love for more people to be that way, to want to do more and try to take more initiative and try to, you know, own more of their own abilities to do things. But if they don't want to, then they don't want to. You know what I mean? Give people their right. That's what they choose to do. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to take, but that's why it's like, it's best to just keep yourself around people who have like minds. So that way, the few relationships or people in your life that you can't, or that don't see the world the way you see it, or don't want to live the same way you live, you don't have to have like this animosity or anger toward each other. It's just like, okay, cool. That's their life. That's what they want to do. But people have to understand that means our lives are going to have different turnouts, or we're going to have different things to be doing at different times. So I may not be available to you, or I may not have the money that you might think I have, or I might not be able to do certain, or I may not be able to whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you see it all the time, you know what I mean? Where people are like, oh, he acted funny because he think he out here and he got it or whatever. It's like, yo, if I don't act this way, if I don't operate the way I'm operating, I don't have the things I have. So that's why I have to be and do the things that I am, because there's no other way around it.
Indeed.
You know what I mean?
Indeed.
The ride is not going to be with the same people forever. You know what I mean? There's going to be some people who, they can't come along for the ride, but you can go visit them. I can pull up, as they say. You know what I mean? But you can't be in the car, man. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Because the car goes a lot of places, and it's got a lot of things, and the car needs to be maintained, and the car so it takes a lot of work, and you don't want to do that. That doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means why would you be in the vehicle if you're not going to help me run the vehicle?
Yeah. You Trey in the car with Doughboy.
Oh my God.
Right? You know, you don't want to be there.
That was
for
the
real.
extreme reference.
Oh God. I mean, you want to help. Yeah, I know, but the best way for you to help is to not be
help.
in this car. You know?
Is to not help this time.
Indeed.
This ain't your field of work, man.
That's it.
Yeah, we were saying, man, that's a very important thing, man.
Know your role.
And you can change your role whenever you want.
You know,
but that means you need to know the role, though. You got to. So then that means go study that role.
Know the role and play it, man.
Because if you don't, it should get real ugly real fast. You know what I'm saying? When you're in a situation that you said you could do and then you can't do it.
Yeah.
They're not going to hold back on you. They're not going to be like, oh, we still feel sorry for you, man. It was a good try, man. They're going to be like, no, why the fuck did you waste our time?
Yeah.
You thought we had time to waste? This is business that runs. We have shit to do. Like we have, or this is a whatever. We have things to take care of. Like you can't come in here and hope to get it right. You know what I'm saying? I need you to get it right. You know what I mean?
Word.
Like imagine that. Imagine any other like high ranking official or something like that in politics, like being like, oh man, I want to try this out.
Yeah.
Like, bro, no, you don't do this. That's not your thing, man. No, but I think I might be good at it. And you know what? That's when you get Trump.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh God.
That's exactly what happened.
I don't want to end it on him, but I think we're gonna end it on him. I want it to end on everything on him. I want everything in his life to end, except for his life. I don't want him to die. But, but I just want everything in his life to just crumble behind him as he's just like stares there into the camera, like
karma,
crying. Like I said, I wonder if they got to wheel him out or something. Like maybe have to sedate him or some shit. Push him out. Like he won't leave on his own.
No, they're gonna get some other Secret Service dudes to force him out eventually.
I know that's what I mean, but like by force, are they gonna like have to rough him up, or are they just gonna be like, you know what, give him a second.
Man, he pussy, man. He ain't.
Oh,
you think he gonna? Nah.
You might try to buck, yo.
Hell no, not like that. I think he's on some "don't touch me" shit. I'll walk out myself type of shit.
I sue.
Yeah.
Don't get your fucking hands off me. I don't touch.
All that type of shit. I don't think he's gonna, buck up and try to swing on him.
I think just for GP, they should just shoot him with like a tranquilizer, and he'd be like, "Damn, we looked like he was about to go. He was going for a weapon, so
word.
We just gonna take him out this way. This is how we gonna take him out. Hey. He gonna wake up in his own bed at home, confused. Like, guys, call the White House. I mean, call the secretary. Call everybody. Tell them to come meet me in the Oval Office. Sir, you're not at the White House. What do you mean? Yeah, you don't live there anymore. that's not your house anymore.
I don't even understand why this time period has to be like. Once you're elected, why don't you just start your job?
I mean, they always, I guess.
I mean, it's always been that way.
Right.
But why?
I'm not enough versed in that. I don't have enough knowledge on that.
Me neither.
I would just be speculating, and it would just be that. My speculation would just be that there's people who need to know certain things and certain information, because there's what's happens a lot, and it has already. Some people end up getting fired. Some people end up quitting on their own. You know what I'm saying? So you start realizing like there's certain people that need now positions have to be filled. So these team players might need to already be in place. Like Biden may need time to go and talk to these other
transition
people. They need people to come in and help organize who's going to be what role now. Like, who's going to not be here anymore, who already left, and now we got to fill their position.
Like, I get that. Now I feel stupid.
No, I mean, but it is in a sense. It's like, but y'all knew this was coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Both sides should have already had these things in place. You know what I'm saying? I think Biden should have.
Why don't you assemble these things prior?
Mm-hmm. They should already have decided that we're going to win this, so we have a transition team already. Yeah. We have people on standby that we've already contacted and said, hey, there's a good chance that after this election, we want you to become this position. If you're interested, we need an immediate whatever, and then we'll be letting you know that, okay, be on standby, because once it happens, the election's over, we're calling you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you're coming with us, and you're going to be doing this, you know? And so... I don't know. I just think it's a lot of stuff that people are saying. And there's a lot, again, this is a time where it's very muddy. The truth and the lie are being mixed together and manipulated and tossed around and into this one big salad that we call the internet and social media. And it's all just, you got to have the right people. Like early on, I remember watching an episode of Nick Cannon's class, and he had somebody on there that was talking about how we're in a time where there's a lot of information, but people don't have the right guidance with the information. There's not people who have really studied these things a long enough time that could break down information and properly dissect it and give it to you in the pieces that you need it in, so that you can actually digest it and properly then give it back out and do what you need with it. Like, we're just it's a lot of easy searching, but you might be looking at the wrong stuff in the wrong context and within the wrong order, and when they don't really attach to the wrong things. And like I saw somebody, Talib Kweli said something about like, just because you're really good at making false equivalencies doesn't mean that you're smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who are just very good at just connecting things and talking very fast and making things seem like they're one thing, and it's not. Go do a little bit of research and fact check a few of those points, and you realize that they missed this point, or they added this thing that wasn't real, and then the whole thing is now completely changed. So that's a rough period, I think we're just in general. That there's a lot of stuff that we need to try to find ways to dig through and figure out what's right, real, wrong, otherwise. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of information that we're getting, and it's good sometimes. It's fun if you're smart enough to understand that you don't let this be like something that is routine to you. I saw Questlove talking about that too, something about how he got caught up in the first term, 2016, when Trump was about to be elected. He was just on a 24/7 like CNN reel. He just kept playing and watching, and it just, it's unhealthy. Same way people did with 9/11. You know what I'm saying? That shit ran like consecutively for like 72 hours. People were just stuck watching it all day long. Reels over and over and over and over again. That's traumatic as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that's not necessary. I think that we undermine the level of what things are doing to us. Television, as we know, it's a program. It's a tool that programs people. It's proven. There's a patent for it. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're smart doesn't mean it's still not going to have its effect on you. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
It's still doing something to your brain that you don't have any knowledge of, that you can't control. Your brain does things that you can't stop.
Yeah.
Involuntary things that happen. You know what I'm saying? It's what your
Word.
subconscious is. A lot of your stuff is just subconsciously happening. You're just living out whatever you've kept feeding yourself for the last few months. Your brain is just regurgitating it.
Yeah.
And assimilating and taking information in through that lens. And now you're stuck in a place. You know what I mean? So it's good to either break free or find things that have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Literally completely just break yourself free from the monotony of logical thinking. That's why music is good. That's why being outside is good. Exercise, all these things take you out of that side of your brain and put you into a freer motion. So that way you can start getting your brain a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, connected. You know what I mean? You get too one-sided and then you'll be, like they said, you'll be too, like Bruce Lee said, you know what I'm saying, the unnatural naturalness.
Yeah.
You can't be one or the other. You get one side, you be too scientific. The other side, you become all of a sudden a mechanical man. You know what I'm saying? You have no thought that's, you know, intriguing. It's just robotic. You're stuck. It's rigid. You know, there's no room for movement. And that's what we're stuck in, some of us. People, you know, keep feeding yourself the same shit. Eventually it becomes your diet.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? That's what your mind becomes. And you can, again, start feeding yourself bad things.
Yeah, that's real.
Like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like we said, I want to challenge myself and those around me to be like, yo, what's your elevator pitch for this? What's your idea on this? What would you do if this was up? What if you only had this much money and you had to do this? What would you choose? Like, these kind of scenarios help you to kind of like become a little bit quicker with that aspect of like, yo, I don't just, people don't take shit from me. I make shit and people have to get it from me. You're not going to get shit out of me. Or, you know what I'm saying? I choose how and when and why I want to do something. You know what I'm saying? And that's important because that's having a respect for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody who's out here getting it, you know what I mean? Anybody who's developing something, like we always say, we shout out the B Divines. We shout out, you know what I'm saying, the T-Rifics. We shout out Super Obvious. My man B does the rock star. We shouts out, you know what I'm saying, Steve B, and he DJs too. So holla at Steve B if you want some DJing work. Like, anybody, yo, cause this is what it's about, yo. Everybody should be doing their thing, and then we just show love. Like, what you lose nothing. Yeah. You know, just showing love and supporting and giving people the same fair shake, so to speak, that you want. You want everybody to give you an opportunity and show love to you. So then share it. Share it to other people then. Give it to other people. Let other people, even if your platform isn't that big, just show them that you're in support of whatever they're doing. Solidarity. You know what I'm saying? I know posts and things like that aren't everything. And that's why it's like, that's just the first step. If we can start to get people to engage more, the money shit starts to become an easier turnover. You know what I'm saying? But at least I need to be honest and true about who I am, and then that turnover ratio becomes easier. Because now, again, I'm not trying, like we said, I'm not selling you nothing really. I'm really just being me, and I'm telling you I have these things that I do, and if you respect it enough, then you'll buy into it. I don't have to make you buy it. Yeah. I'm just gonna present it in a way that hopefully is intriguing to you in some way. You know what I'm saying? I just have to highlight something about what I do that gives me that edge. But that changes. You know what I mean? Like we said. So you gotta always be willing to be actively, you know, building your brand. You know, like I said, every conversation, every opportunity you get, you better be figuring out new ways to attach yourself to that in some way. You know, that crossing in with whatever's going on when it's the season's changing or whatever it might be. Get in with that somehow. You know, find a way to be in tune with that. So that way you can just, it's easier to get more people. You know, you can still do your own thing, but just, you know, assimilate in a way where, you know, you're just trying to be inclusive. Like, I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to do something that's just for this person or that person. It's like, I'm doing things that represent what I feel and how I think. If you're interested in that, then you're gonna be interested in that. I'm not trying to target somebody specifically, I don't think. So that can be good and bad, I guess. But, you know, mainly, again, like I said, you got to stick to your guns, you know what I'm saying? And represent every chance you get, you know what I mean? Out here in the streets.
Yeah, man. That's real.
Oh, shit, man. We can wrap it up, man.
That was a real one, dog.
That was
a real one, dog.
That was all right, man. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man,
I be doing shit from time to time.
we.
But anyways, this has been episode 11. You know what it is. You know where I can find this at already.
Yep.
We're keeping it moving into the new year. Again, if you haven't, check out the episode with Beezy. Check out episode 10 if you haven't already. Check out all the episodes, man.
Yeah, man.
You know
Check
what I'm
out
saying?
everything, man.
And check out Some Married Guys podcast. Look that up
Hey.
specifically.
Yeah,
On
man,
any
we
of the
out here,
spots
man.
that you look and listen. I mean, we'll listen right now. He said he's gonna get on, hopefully on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
It'll be
Soon.
Maybe it'll be the next episode or the next few episodes. So, but either
give me a
way,
few.
Some Married Guys podcast. Look it up on wherever Spotify.
Spotify, Google
Apple Podcasts,
Apple
yeah.
Podcasts,
All
you
of
know,
them.
the podcast places.
The podcast places, yes. And in the meantime, between time, we gonna get out of here, man. Appreciate y'all time. You know what it is. It's Werds Illah Podcast. We out of here, bitch. I mean, I don't mean you're a bitch. I just, you know what I mean. Some rapper shit.